I don't know what camera I'm looking at. My iPad is very weird. Maybe I should try turning it upside down. I don't know if that helped. No, it didn't. Okay, we're gonna do this horizontally. My name is Madison, and I hope there are no loud distractions while I record this. Today is June 17th, and I am going to just say that my life has to change, okay? Doesn't have to change for a very big purpose other than this is literally what's in my heart. I'm on day 2 of a journey where I am having more like 90% of an anti-inflammatory diet. The resources that I've used, I'm going to link them below. And this is not sponsored. Today was the last day that I've had processed sugar, to my knowledge, because, you know, you just never know nowadays. But my intention for this is to grow as a dancer, to grow as a person, to do what is going to help my stomach. I've only eaten one meal today, and I'm full. For some reason, my body is like, I don't want to eat dinner. Now, I'm not recommending that you do that. I'm not recommending anything, but I'm just saying that your body will tell you what it needs as you eat better for your gut. And I have not really been hungry. Now, if I am hungry, I will eat, but, you know, that's all. Also, let me just say briefly, like, what this is about while I'm recording this. I had an epiphany just now that, like, I was going to start vlogging when life looked good, when life looked great and grand, and I don't want to do that. I want to be as honest as possible with this journey and tell you guys, like, the reason this is important to me, other than it being in my heart, is that I want to see myself grow. I definitely noticed today, like, a lot more, I would say, signs that my life is always one question or one action away from being better. And although I'm shy, I wanted to talk about something that I did today. 2 things that I was going to do today that I didn't. I'm gonna get proof. So the first thing, I'm gonna actually say it before I get it, so that y'all don't think I'm lying. One of my goals in life is to be a writer or a filmmaker or a director. I say all those things at once because as a writer, I've decided I know when I write, I have a certain idea in mind of who I want to be casted for the opportunity. And so I've decided on, like, if I write, I also would want to be the casting director. So I say filmmaking and directing because I write for film, or I write for a short, or I write for this, I write for that. Sit down, Hunter. Sit. So today, on the train, I was going through this emotion of, like, wow, I just found 2 people that I would want to cast if I were letting this body of work that I made out into the world. And I'm going to show y'all what was in my bag. And hopefully this inspires somebody, because essentially my goal in life is to inspire people to stop being strangers to each other when they have a goal, a vision, when they feel something that would happen in their life and they have the heart and the idea to do it. For example, I've always been on a train, like, wondering, like, damn, is someone going to ever want to, cast me in person? Make me a model overnight? Now, I know that that's ambitious. It's not wrong, but it's ambitious. Like, you know, everyone hopes for things like that, especially in New York City, but I just don't hear stories like that anymore. But, you see, I am a person who is probably put on this planet to pick people for things. You just never know, Madison. I don't know what your life's gonna look like, but I know that right now at 23, in your heart today, you wrote this down and you wanted to give this to the woman that you saw. And I'm gonna show it to you. Hunter, sit down. Go up there and sit. Go up. Hunter. I'm sorry, y'all. And I'm gonna leave this all in. This is raw. And I'm actually gonna cut the middle and put it in the beginning so that y'all don't feel like y'all getting scammed. And I'm also gonna not put an ad. If the ad is there, I didn't do that. So I was sitting there in the train, right? The first woman I saw, she was on my left. And I was like, wow, this is who I would put in my film. Like, this is her. And then I started to overthink about the plot and the characters and the type of story that it is. And I was like, I don't know. She looks like she's a doctor on her day as her day job. So then I didn't think about it no more. And then another woman gets on the train. This woman, I definitely 100% wrote this note for her. And then I was going to write the second thing, saying the same thing, and hand it to the other lady. Because I was just like, wow, this woman is also going to be needed. Because it's two women in my film. It's LGBTQ+. But, again, the women in the film, I don't want them to look too old, too young. Even though it's a school-based like type of story, I wanted it to be adults. And I was going to change the type of school environment that they were in. Maybe they were going to be in like summer school together or something like that. I wrote this out, and I want to keep this in my notebook, actually, because the next time that I see people like this, because I feel like my film, I'm not going to just record it one time. I want to record it multiple times, same script, same everything, and just have different people. But like every person would be selected with care. So I knew in my heart, like I wasn't thinking that far ahead. I was just like, wow, I need these people. Like I need them. And I lost them forever. And so I wrote it out. I feel like I even tore the page out a little bit. You see how like I wrote it and then you see the page is like kind of lifted off of you see that? So we're making progress, Madison. But like, this is the thing about life. Like, we're going to make little steps towards the way, but we don't need to lose the hope that one day we will rip that page off and we will hand it to someone and it will turn into something beautiful. And when I got out the train, I was like, wait, I could just record this scene in my house. Like, there's a scene of like a bedroom. Although I'm not in the right city, I wanted it to be more in like a rural setting. Issa Rae said something very important. Like, if you have the camera, if you have the house, if you have the tripod, if you have, you know, a mic, like, use what you have and put all your effort into it, put your heart into it, and be upfront about things. And, you know, the body of work that's done after is what matters the most. And I know that I would pay these people handsomely for it if I had the finances. But if you don't have the finances, just say, you know what? All I can offer you right now is like a contract that says if this goes somewhere and I get paid financially, like I can give you guys 20% each, something like that, you know? Keep your word on that. But I'm going to read you the note. And I'm going to say this video is more so just about like day by day, what am I doing to get closer to who I am supposed to be? It's not supposed to be some sort of 30-day challenge. You got to stick within the 30 days. I think that makes it so hard to say progress, even small progress is progress. So I'm going to make it very like camp in the way that like every day I'm thinking of my goals. But did I do something yet? And if I did something, what is it? And then record it and then post it. And I'm not really going to do it in like the format of like day one. I want to do it just like by dates. Like I just want to do it where it's like, okay, today's June 17th, 6/17/26, 6/18/26, 6/19/26. You know, and if it's a 10-minute video, it's a 10-minute video. If it's a 5-minute video, 5-minute video. But I just want to say that today, before this event, I did my face lymphatic massage. This is not in particular order. I did my body lymphatic massage. I did a strength training video. I did 2 strength training videos, and this was day 1 of my strength training. Because the woman that I followed, she did 30 days, but it wasn't for real 30 days. It's kind of like a playlist of like random videos. So I just said, okay, if I do 2 videos of this a day, 2 videos that are strength training based a day, that counts as 1 day. So I'm trying to have strength training done twice a week. So that was done today. This was day 1. I took a very long walk today. I picked up a book at the library. I'm gonna tell you, this book is kind of, I wouldn't read this book if you are in the middle of like crisis, but I feel like I learned to deep breathe because I was reading something that was so intense. I love intense reading. I love books that are relating to myself. And so this book is called Everyone But Myself. I picked it up today. I have to finish this, and that's a goal that I have. But I picked up a book and I read 20 pages. I'm cooking. I went to Dylan's Candy Bar today. My mother gave this to me for my birthday, and I always said I wanted to go back. So I took a walk, and I saved a little bit of money because I was already going somewhere. I walked there, and then I took the train home. So, yeah. This is more so self-care, though. This was a self-care thing that I had on my back of my mind. And then, of course, I wrote this note today. And I'm going to add 2 more things that I did. I emailed my old acting coach, and I asked him for advice. And I also made myself say, I'm coming to watch class next week. And then the final thing that I did today, I ate breakfast. And yeah, the only things I would say that were bad of my day, I did eat a little more than like a palm size amount of food. I'm trying to like at least do that type of measurement for my meals, just until I learn like my body weight and, you know, the real way to diet your food, because I don't have a food scale. But, and then the other bad thing is like the candy. I had candy today, but I did say this was my last day having candy. I'm actually going to give this card to my sister so that I don't have it in the house, because I have a lot of money left on that card. But at the end of the year, I will celebrate some other time. I also posted a picture on Pinterest, so that was me just trying to get into the realm of content. I researched and reached out about some job opportunities that I'm going to probably be better off with, like trying out. I took pictures of like, you know, different job markets that are really important, but that was for the 2025 job market. That was in the library. And then I have a contact that sent me a social club that I should look into, but it is a membership. So that'll be something that I like fully commit to by Saturday, because that's when I have my meeting to discuss some things with my family. And that is all for right now. I wanted to just say all those good things out there, because people may not resonate with like a goal. Like in my mind, goals are kind of like, Hunter, goals are kind of like, do 60 push-ups, they're numerical for me. And so I felt like today, a lot of my goals weren't necessarily like I had them in my mind to do them this morning, but there are things that went well today in my life. And I think that is something that this book speaks about. Not sponsored, but it speaks about, I don't know if I should say it because I don't know if it's copyright, but it just speaks about getting lost in the beauty of life. You know, what does that look like? is goal setting beautiful in your life? And if it is, don't make it stressful. You know, if that's a beautiful thing, if you're proud of it, try to have happy emotions behind it. If you can't, don't take a break from everything that like is important to you, but figure out what other people do that don't make it so stressful. Like, why is it stressful? You know, all that stuff. So these recordings are to emulate that, because yesterday I went out. I say yes, today is day 2 because yesterday I did go out and touch some grass. Hunter, sit down. I'm so sorry, y'all. But basically, like, I went outside, I sat on a blanket in the grass. I looked at the sky, which I really love. And my pace the pace I was walking to get to that park, I'm telling you, like, you would have thought I was having a panic attack. So it was like yesterday really jump-started my belief that slowing down has to be in my day. There has to be a time where I can face myself and not feel, you know, trampled by thoughts. And yeah. That's why making a film is not like my end all life goal. It's something I know in my life I'm going to accomplish. It's just like before getting there, your body has to be trained to be uncomfortable, to be stressed, to see something at once, and then to know, like, hey, can I handle what'll happen as soon as I rip this paper off and give it to a person? Tomorrow, can I actually rip it off and just hand it to someone and be like, you know? But if tomorrow feels too close, every day, little things will help you get to where you gotta go. So that's all it is. The same thing with apartment hunting, or like looking for a place to live. Like, I did that today as well, which is another thing I'm proud of. Like, I got to look at how people live in different countries, like South Africa. Africa's not a country, sorry, continent. But the country they were living in was Nigeria. And I was able to learn about that, you know, instead of waiting until whenever to look. So I learned a lot about my capacity for things today. But the main thing I wanted to talk about was this note. Today I wrote out, I am making a film. If you would be interested in acting. And then I put my email. And you know what I was thinking during this time as well? I was like, I should really have a contact card that says all that I do. But like, as a beginner filmmaker, you can make excuses. But I really was going to rip this off and give it to this woman and then give it to the other lady I saw, because I thought they would have been a perfect fit. And now I don't know what to do with those feelings. So I'm posting about it on the internet. No, but like, this is day 2. Day 1 is not filmed because I really didn't have this idea until now. And one day, actually no, right now, it is 8:14. I'm going to bed early today so I can wake up tomorrow and complete this dance. This dance that I'm doing is very interesting. And it's so important to me that I get it done and that I put it out in the world. Among me doing that, I will be embarrassing myself in front of my family. I will be embarrassing myself in public because I dance in the park in Harlem, just because, like, that's something I feel like is lost. And I don't do it every day, but I do want to start getting there every day, just to, like, really get used to, like, street dancing and outside. But I looked at myself do this dance and I was so embarrassed, because you can tell I'm just like sloppy. I don't take care of myself. And it was such a beautiful video, all in the same breath, because that's day 1. That's negative day, you know. So when I do finish the choreo, and I'm really, really proud of it, and everyone's like, wow, it looks like she took her time, and like the steps, like I would love to learn that. Or like, you could tell she was figuring something out, and like you can tell when someone works harder to dance, and I feel as though I'm like 20% there. So that is the real work there. Like, I can't wait to post that video last and say this is what the work looked like, you know. But I am going to post this video raw, and I can't wait to see what comes about after this, because this will be my first YouTube video. I'm not gonna even have an intro. I'm not gonna have nothing. One day I'll get there. I don't even know if I'm really gonna make a YouTube video for real. I mean, YouTube channel, where it's like real deal. Like, you know, I have a better camera, I have a better everything. But for right now, this is enough. And if I could do a closing out, I'm gonna say my closeout will just be stay blessed. And Madison, I'm praying for you. And I love you.